Jon Mendez here with our next little how-to. We're going to do a little bit of how to leave a berth. Now, it depends how many crew you've got, but it's always good to have a plan that you could do with just one person, i.e. yourself, if necessary. So we'll go with a crewed and just a single person approach. So the key thing you've got to decide is, do you want to leave in a head or a stern? Now that's usually dictated by the amount of room around you and the conditions. It's generally easier to leave a stern. The engine on the stern of the boat can be used to drag the stern away from the pontoon. Because of the shape of the bow, it will generally follow. Now you can do it in three styles. You can just reverse off, and that might work. If there's a little bit of breeze holding you on, you might put the bow in a bit and then reverse off. Or you could use either a bow line, so a line going forward from the boat to pull against, or a bow spring, that's a line from the bow coming back to something midships to drive ahead against. So there's four little options. There is a fifth, don't tend to use it often, but you can, in light conditions and with a small boat, just push off, and that might be simplest of all. Depending on your conditions, leaving can be really easy. If you've got a decent breeze offshore, just let go and let the boat be blown out the hull. That's rarely the case. So I'm just going to show you, I think, the simplest way, which is just to reverse the boat off. Wind is somewhere over there, so it's going to assist us slightly, but we're reversing up the hill. So preset your engine. Engine is set all the way away from the pontoon. I'm going to undo my line, bring the line inboard, and then just good look round and engage a stern. As the stern comes out, the bow will come a bit closer, but because of that little bit of breeze, we just reverse beautifully away. Couldn't be simpler. Version 2, same sort of thing, but we might need a steeper angle. So if we had something quite close behind us, instead of just reversing off, we can push the bow in and then reverse off, and that increases the angle and gives us a steeper leave. So again, we can preset, so the helm is all the way to the dock, undo my line, one click ahead, that pushes the bow in, then nice and quickly reverse the helm, good look round and reverse off. And you can see, because of that little breeze, we're coming out within our own boat length. So that works really nicely. Bow in, reverse off. Third method we could use is we could use a line. Now I've organised a bow line, so that's going from the boat, around the cleat and back to us. And at the moment I've got the engine in gear, astern, and the engine is towards the dock. And what that does is it holds us on, so we can get rid of everything else. We're just held on by our bow line and our stern engine holding us against the dock. Now when I'm ready to leave, obviously have a good look, and then I can just gently put the wheel away from the dock. And what that does is it beautifully pivots the boat out. And all I need to do now is go out to an angle that I'm happy at. And you can see you can control it to the inch, either winding away from the dock to go away, or winding back towards the dock to come in. So you can use this coming off or on, whichever you like. All the key thing is when you're happy and ready with the angle, so I'll just wind it out a little bit. The key thing is that we go neutral when we go forward to release the line. And then we might need in and out of gear just to keep the boat stationary so that we're working on a line which is not under tension. So I've now got crew to show you how the full evolution works. I wind the wheel away from the dock, that takes the boat beautifully out. When I'm at an angle that I'm happy with, straighten up the helm very slightly, and then I'm going to go neutral. So into neutral, line is slack, release. And now all I'm doing is just having a little click of a stern so we don't go forward and peck the dock. He's pulling our line in, and then I can reverse away. So we've looked at how do we get the stern out. How about how do we get the bow out? So one of our ways we can use is a stern spring. So I've got a line which I've rigged from the stern round a midships cleat And because it's only me, I've just got it back to the middle of the boat. Just going to go astern. I've very carefully fended the quarter of the boat so that we are not damaging it. And we'll just see if we can make that force the bow out. There we go. So as I'm gently getting the bow out there, now I will go neutral and I will lean across, bring in my line, and then the helm reasonably straight, just drive ahead. So just in conclusion there, several ways to leave. Generally astern's easier. Probably the most important thing and top tip I could say is never make it more difficult than it needs to be. If it requires a good shove, go for a good shove. But if you can use a technique which doesn't require pushing, that's a great step forward. Just practice.